Hello fellow YouTubers, if you're new to the channel, my name's Neil. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today's video is about this. This is a camera cage I came across on the internet and I'm pleasantly surprised at the quality of it. If you're not into the full size U-Butte, it does everything with a zillion holes and a rosetta on it, etc., then maybe this is the way to go. This is really like a half or three-quarter cage, as you can see maybe by the photo there. It's put out by a company called Yanzhou. Now, it sort of bears a striking resemblance to other brands on the market, but it's sort of like a no-name brand, and I'm pleasantly surprised at how good it actually is. I've got a couple of upcoming trips away, and I thought it'd be really nice if I didn't have to use my lovely Tilda cage, which is very good, really robust, but I wanted something a little bit smaller and lighter to make it easier to put my camera into my camera bag. Now I try and carry most of my equipment on board, you know, luggage, etc., so anything that makes it more compact, the better it is. This cage has a smaller form factor. It's also a lot more hugging to the camera. That's one of the things I noticed with the Tilta. There's always a gap down the sides, whereas this one, it is snug on the grip, and it does make quite a bit of a difference. I find it's probably got just enough holes or quarter-inch screws and at least one cold shoe mount on it, which I've got my Rode radio mic plugged into, or sorry, slotted into. Now, I actually was quite surprised at it. The only thing I'm a little bit wary about is it uses a 2.5 or 2mm screw to go through the camera strap loops into its frames. I would be concerned if you over tighten those screws, you would strip the threads very, very quickly because it's such a small thread. So I've done them up just a little bit past finger tight. I may even think about taking them out and putting a dab of nail varnish on it. For you people who aren't in the know, before Loctite ever existed, there were people who were painting the threads of their bolts with house paints, automotive paints, things that dried quickly. So someone came across the idea of using nail varnish, and it has been used in the film and TV industry for a long time before Loctite ever became popular. So that's what I may end up doing, is pinching some of my wife's nail polish, some clear stuff, and just painting it on the threads and screwing them back in so they don't come undone. But that's about the only thing I can find that I don't like about this whole thing. Now, in a couple of minutes I will get the camera, because we're shooting with my camera over here. This is a GH7. So I will get the GH7 out and we'll put it on the table and we'll shoot with whatever I can find, whether it's my partner's Sony's RX100 version 7 or my GoPro or whatever, to show you what it really looks like. Okay, over to the other camera. Now this is my GH7, and as you can see the cage is on it. I'll just give it a quick spin around. We're shooting with the RX7 at the moment, the Sony RX100 V7. So you can see that it is quite a small rig. There's not a hell of a lot to it. I'll slide the Rode off. I'm doing all this one-handed. It makes life a little bit difficult. The lens is obviously a bit, making the camera a bit front heavy. So, see if we can get the handle off in one go. Right. Move the handle out of the way. And there it is. So it actually just goes across the top of the body. This wasn't part of it. That's just quarter-inch holes there, or quarter-inch threads there. Move that out of the way. Back down around this side so you can see it just has, move it around a bit more into the light, just this side bracket that comes up, which I don't know if you can see well enough. It actually has a bolting through the camera strap lug and into the aluminium frame of the cage. So it's nicely made. It, as I say, it's a really nice fit around the camera grip of the camera. The way they, I think, make it as strong as they do, it's because of all this gusseting around the actual edge of the grip, the cage. It actually makes it quite strong. And another thing too is that this section is actually removable if you don't want it on there. You can actually either take this piece off separately, or there is a screw underneath which enables you to remove that side section completely. So you're only left with this one side if you really wanted to. So overall, it is quite a nice little cage. I'll try and post a link of where I found it. It was on eBay, AliExpress, and it's a nice little cage, I must say. It's quite lightweight, reasonably inintrusive when you want to put it into a small, tightish camera bag. For the money, I think it's quite well worth it. Now, I just use this for shooting around the house, DIY sort of videos and things like that. But I just found that with the bigger cage, the tilter cage, I was having problems with getting it into my camera bag. It was always catching on stuff. Now, we just came back 6 months ago approximately from a trip traveling around Africa. We did multiple safaris there. We stayed in all sorts of lodges all over the place. And my kit bag or camera bag is quite small. It really only takes the camera, and it was tough to get it in with the case, so I had to go without the cage and just went with the camera body. The camera body fitted in just fine, but I always thought to myself, because this sits right up about 15-20 mil above the camera body. If I remove this plate off the top of the cage, that will mean that this cage itself is not a great deal higher than the actual camera body. The biggest problem I find with this really is that it protrudes so far down below, and I'm even thinking about, do I put it on my mill and actually remove half of it, because it's not really needed, it's not really doing anything as far as I can tell. Right, we'll try that again. Battery just died. So as far as I can tell, a lot of this is more so to enable it to slide into a tripod release plate. So I'm wondering if I could take off this lip and reduce some of the height. I'll have to go and try this in my bag and see whether it's worthwhile doing or not. But at the moment, that's about the only reason. So you wouldn't really need to modify much of this, because that's below. So I just want to take that lip off and bring it down to around here. So if I could take some of this lip off, it would just, well, it's only going to reduce it, say, 5 mil, but maybe that would make it a bit easier to get in and out of the camera bag. But I must say, I am quite pleasantly surprised at the quality and the workmanship of this cage. So do yourself a favour, as someone would say. If you're after a small-ish camera cage, maybe give these guys a go. Yanzu is what it's called, Yanzu. So if you like it, check them out. It's quite a nice little small rig. It was a little bit fiddly to get on, but only because of those little tiny screws you have to put in. So once you've got these in, and I would suggest leaving the bolt underneath loose, so this section is loose, to put that one in, and the same with the other one. Don't do the camera screw up first, just put it in a couple of turns to locate it, then use the screw to try and get it through there. It was a little bit fiddly, but everything seems to work. Doesn't impinge any of the rubbers. You can get to the cards, you can get the battery in and out without any issues. In fact, if anything, most of the stuff works better than it does on the tilter. The tilter does give you a bit of a hard time getting around it sometimes, like to the remote port, so you can remote roll the camera, because I actually use a remote roll cable so that I can hit the record button from here at the table and have the camera roll, so I don't have to walk over to the camera each time to hit record. So Now, as I say, do yourself a favour, have a look at these and see whether you think they're worthwhile investing in a lighter cage if you're doing a lot of travelling. Okay, hope everyone likes the video, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye for now.